Hey folks, how y'all doing today? It's me, your friendly neighborhood Stately, and this is episode 8 already of our City Skylines series. Time flies when you're having city planning, I guess. Welcome to the fair town of good intentions. So, check it out. Traffic, still. Now I did do some things to try to alleviate traffic a little bit last episode. We moved all of the trucks off of this road over to this one. And as you can tell, that's not good enough. So we're going to have to come up with some new solutions here. And I think the very first thing I'm going to do is simply put in more road here. We can widen this to a 3-lane for starters. We don't have stoplights here. I think we probably should have stoplights here. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully that will help things flow along a little bit better. But we'll also go ahead and widen this road. 3 lanes in either direction. This guy, I guess, with bicycle lanes. We've got a lot of pedestrians, but not many cyclists. So let's not do the bicycle lanes. But let's go for a 3-lane highway here. Like that. And then the intersection looks fine. So there's 2 left turn lanes and 2 straight lanes. So that looks pretty good to me. The only thing I'm kind of sad about is that there's no arches here. Both of these bridges are flat, and I know why. They're flat because they're slightly curved, and curved bridges just end up being these causeways. So what we could do, and this is, it's an aesthetic thing, that's fine, but we could take a couple of sections here and simply replace them with a single stretch of road, like so, and then we'll get a nice suspension bridge. Now we do need to grab our good friend Move It here and even things out so that we have a nice level bridge. Assuming I can actually select the node. There we go. Something like that. Does that look pretty flat? That looks pretty flat to me. We need to get this one down as well. Something like that seems about right. That's much nicer, right? Now we have a cool looking bridge. Well, all of the traffic seems very confused. A bunch of them just randomly turned around there. Yeah, this looks nice. I'm a little concerned it might not be tall enough to let ships through, and it's still not quite level. I think this one needs to go down just a bit more. No, come on. That looks pretty good. Maybe we should raise the center one just a tad. Mostly because it's easier to have a bit of an arch that looks okay than it is to have something that's supposed to be straight but isn't quite. So that's good. Then this bridge here, this bridge is very high. And I don't think it needs to be that high, but again, it's also not completely straight, which means we get a causeway instead of a cool looking bridge. So let's go ahead and, this is a 2-lane, and we're not going to expand this just yet because there's no real need to. Really nothing, no bridge? I'm sad. Are there other road types that I can use that will give me a bridge? Because if I have to, I absolutely will. Yes, there are. All right, let's see. This one, that's kind of got an industrial feel to it, which this is kind of our industrial bridge, I guess. So, okay, let's do it. And this is a big old 3-lane road though, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade all of the roads leading into it. Like that, and like that. And that's a much nicer looking bridge. It's a bridge looking bridge. It's got supports and everything. It's kind of an odd design, but I like it. Okay. All right, we've got some aesthetic work done. Now, at the end of last episode, I said I was going to work on some public transit. And we're just going to start out with buses, I think. Here are some of the issues. Let's look at the university, for example. People are coming in primarily on foot. Look at this traffic here. These are the people going to the university. And they're all walking, and they're walking from a long way away in some cases. These people are coming from all over the place. There's somebody here who's walking from all the way over here to the university. So that's an issue. And then if we look at some of the work sites here, we're still getting people coming in, walking from all over the place. So, time to put in some buses. And I've kept this area empty because I thought it would do well as a public transit hub. Probably won't be our central station because it doesn't have great access, but as a bus terminal, it should do just fine. So, our options: bus station. Shall we put down a bus station? That's probably a little too much still. We do need a bus depot, obviously, and the bus depot doesn't have to be at the location, but it's good to have it close. So I'm tempted to knock down some industry here since we're having trouble keeping the industry populated anyway. So we could like slap it down here and be done with it. But it might make more sense to just put it here. Okay, that's our bus terminal. And that's not too far for them to drive to and from the terminal. I'm perfectly happy with that. And then for the actual bus lines, this is a mess. Why did I do this? Hold on, let me clean this up because this bugs me. Whoa, okay. Brush size 1. What a sloppy mess. Let's see if we can straighten this out. Apparently not quite. We can't quite get it straight because that's just kind of the way the game does floor textures. Okay, minor distraction there, but now we're done. What I'm seeing here, by the way, is lots of pedestrians and not many bikes. But we do have like a bike lane here, and there's no pedestrians. That makes sense. However, I did install a combination bike and footpath. I think it's going to be under trails here. This is a new mod that I just added. This guy right here is both pedestrian and bicycle. And hopefully that'll help with some of the pedestrians. I feel like I should do some more bike paths to make getting around a little easier, but let's go ahead and get our bus lines sorted first. Bus line, please. What is all this? Busways. Oh, I didn't even realize I installed these, but we have dedicated bus lanes here. Let's start with one lane, two-way bus stop. Is that really what I want? I think we'll keep this simple for now. We'll go ahead and do a little bus loop here. Maybe we'll start here and we'll do the same thing over here. Okay, that's good. I want to straighten it out and get it kind of symmetrical. Okay, all right, that'll be our kind of bus hub. And then for the lines, obviously we need a line going to the university, and that line should it culminate here? I don't know if we mind if people have to transfer. It will probably make using the bus less attractive. So I'm going to maybe set up a north line and a south line and have them both pass through the transit hub. I think that makes more sense and has a better chance of getting more passengers. So, new line. Start there. All of our lines will start there. And we'll go... Well, let's make this our north line. We'll start here, and then we'll go up this road here. Now, the Sims are not averse to walking, so we don't have to go overboard with the bus stops. We can be pretty conservative with the amount of stops we use. So that's a very simple little bus line. But it should work, and then we'll put down the next bus line. Hey, check it out. Fort Fortley has reached level 2, and now we can make some viewing decks. We might get around to that today, we might not, we'll see. The next bus line, is this enough? I think what we're going to do here is we'll go ahead and add a stop at the industrial area here. Move out a little bit, something like this. And then we'll put a stop on the other side. So, okay, we've got a credible little bus line going here. We'll have to keep an eye on how well it functions, obviously. Didn't I put a stop downtown here? Yeah, I put one right here. Why, then, are they looping around here instead of there? That's an odd one. Let's take down that stop and move this one. Well, I guess we don't have to move it. I mean, I guess we can't move it, so I'll pretend we don't have to. Trash issues. Any problems with our incineration plant? Not all of our trucks are in use. Traffic to and from the plant seems fine, so I'm just going to assume they haven't quite gotten around to it. No big deal. Oh, check it out. There's our bus. And a bunch of cars. They don't seem to understand what a bus lane is? Okay. All right. Be that way. I think I can go ahead and Well, that's not what I'm trying to do, by the way. That's move it. I'm meaning to do the traffic thing. So this is no cars, no trucks, but we'll let city service vehicles keep traveling here. And I think, how does this work? Huh, I thought it was possible to, no cars, no trucks, no garbage. No garbage, no trucks, no cars. I thought it was possible to copy that configuration over, but I'm not quite sure how, so. Okay, that should keep the unwanted vehicles off of our little bus loop here. Now, obviously, this is kind of in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing going on, but this will allow us to expand. We have room here to do a train station or a monorail station or whatever else we think we're going to need at some point. And that's kind of what it's about. Okay, so that's our north line. It kind of goes around here and it visits the industrial area. The only thing we might want to add is a stop at the forestry area. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Okay, new line. New line, please. How do I do a new line if it just keeps wanting me to add a stop? Drag line to add stop. Now, why you gotta be like that? I'm going to put it over there for now so I can create a new line, and then I'll move it back. Create a new line. There we go. This one will service our residential area. And we'll start here. We'll go around to, say, here. We'll swing down this way. We'll put a stop opposite that stop, and then we'll close it out. And then we'll move this stop back. Because there's no reason they can't both be on the same stop. Okay, let's take a look here. So we are servicing, this is fine for the school, you just need to walk around the corner. The high school, though, I feel like it would make sense to have a stop at the high school and possibly also at the tourist area. So maybe we move this over here. Right about here. Oh, thank you. Hey, 7,500. Nice. That unlocks cable cars and monorails and train stations and hydro plants and a yoga garden. That's pretty cool. No problems with that. I'm in favor of cool. Okay, so we'll move that there. I'm still not sure. Is that just a one-lane road or something? Remove that stop. Now this doesn't really do a good job of servicing this area, so maybe we move this stop and add stop here. And I don't know that we need any more stops. That looks pretty decent. Again, people are willing to walk reasonably far to get to a bus stop. And putting in like 1 million bus stops just kind of slows things down a lot. So I don't want to make things too complicated for these guys. Okay, now we have a problem already with the number of buses coming through here. Yeah. That probably means we have too many buses, for one. But we'll work on the lines once we've got the actual bus stop set up. Okay, so we are servicing this area, we're servicing this area, now we need to do this area. So let's go ahead and put one more new line down. Drag line to add stop. I want to start a new line, please. Why are you being so difficult about that? There. Just need to click at exactly the right spot and everything's fine. So this line will go down here. It will service the mall. It will service the housing here and the university, and I guess we can actually have it stop at the forestry area. No, I don't think so. I think that'll just make it unnecessarily complex. But I'm not sure. Well, so if we put it down here, we have to run it down here. And I guess we will. That's fine. And there we go. No, there we don't go. This one, there. Oh, now it's making a U-turn in a parking lot. That's undesirable. You need to go there. Oh, what have I done? Okay, let's delete this stop and see what's going on. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we got a little public transport network going on here. That's all pretty good, and one tourist has taken a bus. One frickin' tourist. 8 vehicles, 56 passengers. The number 3 line I just built, so that doesn't have many passengers yet. And we can change the number of buses per line, although I'm not quite sure how. Here, vehicle count modifier. So we'll take a look here. This one, it actually looks pretty full, so I don't think we need to lower the vehicle count. Let's give it some time. Let's see how things go, and then we'll come back and revisit it. What we can do, however, is put down a little bit of commerce here. Just some places to shop while you're waiting for the bus. I think high density would be appropriate here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Make sure there's a water supply. And we have pretty high demand across the board, so it's, man, that's a lot of people already. We might need to revise the way these bus lanes work, because it's already kind of turning into a bit of a fustercluck. So let's keep an eye on that. In the meantime, though, it is time to expand, and I've decided to expand out this way. Now, if you look here and compare it with the standard map, I've done some terraforming in this area because this map's very flat. This is one of the default maps, and I wanted something a little more interesting to build in. We still have this flat area here, which will be perfectly nice for residential, but as you go farther in here, it's a little more hilly, and that should allow me to make some slightly more interesting build decisions. Okay, let's take another look at this. I want to see how people are coming in here now. Still literally nobody coming here by public transit. Nobody's taking the bus to the university. They're still walking. There's people walking from the university to the bus stop. I'm not sure what's going on there. We need to give it some time. Let it settle in and see how it works then. Running a little low on power. So I think it is time to put in a new power station. And I don't want to cluster them all in the same place, so maybe we'll put this one over here, the oil area. You know what? We should be able to put down an oil power plant. So these guys cost 560 a week and generate 40 megawatts. This costs 4 times as much and generates 3 times as much power. That's not a good deal. Okay. Then we'll put down another coal plant and leave it at that. Again, we're getting lots of people coming in on foot here, and that's probably mostly because there isn't any parking there. We'll look into that. Okay, let's start expanding over here. This needs to move, but not far. We're just going to move it down the road a tad. Oh, come on, guys. That's such a trivial change. It shouldn't matter. Let's see if these power lines are actually still necessary by the look of it, but I could rearrange them if I had to. Are we? Yeah, we're chugging a little bit. So, this bus is full. And there's still a fair amount of people waiting here. What are these guys doing? Yeah, they just got off the bus and they're going shopping. Okay. Look at our little strip mall, by the way. It turned out nice. We got a Sad Bucks here. A Sherlock's coffee. Okay, sorry. Got distracted there. I was looking at the pretty and I got all distracted. So, let's find a 2-lane road. Can we have a pretty 2-lane road? Bicycle lanes? Decorative trees. For the win. And out along the coast a bit. And this is where the terrain gets a little rough, so that's how far we'll go for now. That's a good start. We'll do kind of the same thing here, but maybe slightly higher density. Maybe we'll fill this out a little bit more. We want 2-lane roads with parking, and we want to go straight lines, I think, out to near the coastline, and then we'll go here, same thing, here, same thing. Starting to see how this is going to work. And here. Just a little too short. There we go. Alright, now we'll extend the key, or quay. I still haven't worked out how to pronounce that. If anybody wants to let me know in the comments, please feel free. And we were using the white fenced one, this guy right here. Okay, so from here onto, we got the curvy one selected, right? Yeah. Onto here, and okay. That road is in the way. That road will have to go. Bye, road. Miss ya. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. And that's probably about as far as we need to go here. Okay, so that gives us some nice and reasonably flat terrain here. Still a little bit rough around the end here, but that's okay. Now let's start connecting these together. Again, we're going for a slightly higher density here. So we're going to connect these at 90-degree angles, right? Just like this. We'll leave this empty. That might be a good place for a park or something. Okay, let's get some water in here. We're still okay on water, but we're starting to run a little bit short. Nothing too serious. Okay, everybody has water. Good. Now, what's next? Do we need to expand this outwards? Let's try, but let's just use the Move It tool. Flatten it all out a little bit. That looks reasonable. Same thing here. Just stretch and, oh, okay, that's a little rough. Stretch and go down, just like that. And then we'll kind of smooth the terrain here. Let's see, so we'll grab the smoothing tool, that's this guy right here, and modest brush size, that guy. And we should be able to get this a little more gradual. That looks pretty good. I don't think we should have any trouble putting buildings down there. And this area here is still rough, that's fine. That's it's just terrain being terrain. All right, let's go ahead and start zoning. Shall we go for like a 3x3s with a bit of distance between them, like that, and then here maybe we'll have more density, but slightly smaller buildings. See how this works out. Three, and I guess that'll work. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but it doesn't have to be. And then here we'll do, maybe we should combine high density and low density a little bit. Maybe this would be a good place for a couple of towers. And then I think we'll have a small commercial section here as well, maybe some offices along the main road. But let's see how this looks once we've got it more or less filled in. Here, again, this would be a good place for some high density buildings. I don't want them right up against the side roads, so we'll do something like that, and that, and that. We'll have something a little smaller in the middle, because otherwise it doesn't line up. There's one thing, I'm going to pause real quick because I want to see about zoning this as a granola zone. And by granola zone, I mean one of the cool green city zones. So before it like completely fills in, I want to go ahead and do the regions. That'll be just that side of the road. People are going to love living here. I mean, it's got waterfront, it's got a nice view. It's conveniently close to the highway. I'm sure people will love it. And here we go, self-sufficient build. Is that the one? Yeah, self-sufficient buildings. Strawberry Heights. Let's not call it Strawberry Heights. Let's call it, do I have any styles? I do. I'm still working on the styles. I might at some point add a couple of like legit styles, but the ones I have in right now are just things that I was experimenting with that haven't really worked out too well. This will be Granolaville. And let's see what the policies in Granolaville look like. We're going to have recycling. We're going to have, oh, and recreational use. Why not? Now, we've talked about the education issues before, but I'm not going to do anything about it just yet. I'm not going to use the schools out policy. I might use that somewhere else, but that'll be kind of a low value neighborhood and not automated sorting. That's odd. That doesn't seem like a regional thing. That seems more like something you'd set up on an actual post office. I still only have one post office, by the way. Oh boy. All right. This is getting problematic here. We might need more buses. We might need a more robust system for the buses, but we definitely need to do something. Okay, and a nice park or two. Let's start with a small park. Let's get the zoning on so I can see what's going on. It would be nice if I could do this without having to worry about dezoning stuff. But I haven't given myself massive amounts of space, so I might have to dezone some stuff. No big deal. Well, slope too steep. I guess we'll put it out here. Let's go with something bigger then. Maybe this guy's expensive. $240 a week isn't too bad. That's nothing. Let's not be ridiculous about that. We'll put down Arboretum and put down a modest dog park somewhere to kind of add to the appeal. Now this guy doesn't have electricity yet, but once this place starts filling in, I don't think that should be too much of an issue. Now we have a fair amount of demand still for commercial. Let's look at land values and see what would be a good place to put those. Well, I mean, besides the obvious, you know, the tourist area is still pretty desirable, and this downtown area, but all of these already have a good amount of commercial space, so let's go ahead and pop down some low-density commercial along the road here, because that seems to make good sense to me. Something like that. For now, that should fill in pretty quickly, I suspect. People are not eager to live here just yet. Let's go ahead and try to head off any traffic issues we're going to encounter here by making sure that we have... Really? Don't I get to click on something and then something happens? Isn't that how it works? There. We're just going to make all of the side roads yield. And that should keep things going just fine for the time being. We're not going to have hugely heavy traffic here yet. We might eventually. This might end up being a pretty major main road because it's heading down that way. There's a lot of everything that way. But it is starting to fill in. So we'll come back and check on that later. We still need more commercial space, but I want to take a look at these buses here and see what's going on. Okay, so the number 1 line. All of the buses are full. So let's add more vehicles. Go up to 12. And see how that goes. Let's check the number 2 line. All of the buses are full. Go up to 12. I think, yeah, we can just go back to the lines overview here. And the number 3 line, all of the buses are full, so we'll bump this up to 12 as well. Okay, then there's this. This is causing a serious backup. We've got buses all over the place. And that's not good. So, what shall we do about that? I kind of figured I'd put them off the road. Look at this. Look at this dick just blocking the intersection. Of course, cops get to clip through them because cops can do whatever they want. They don't have to obey the laws of physics. Right, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, this is not working at all. This is bad. So what shall we do? What shall we do? Okay, let's look at the lines. We have all of our bus lines are... Yeah, they're all going out that way, so it's linear. I mean, all of these lines are kind of going the same way. All right, I think I have an idea. I think it's going to be messy, but I have an idea. Hello? Extend this on both sides a little bit, like so, and move it back. Actually, we don't need to extend this. This can be shorter. Something like that. I'm trying to get this nice and parallel. And I think that's probably as good as it needs to be. So, back to the bus line roads. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that a little differently. We're going to use single lane one-way streets with sidewalks. And we'll set this up like this. And then we're going to move the stops. So we'll have a separate stop for each line here. And let's just make sure that everything's properly lined up here. Make sure that it's all nice and parallel. And I want to get it pretty close together. Don't want to go crazy here because the game can't quite keep up when you start going overboard with this stuff, but I mean, look, okay, all right, this is not going well. I'm making kind of a mess. And that'll give us room for some more too. That's good. And all of my bus lines have disappeared. Okay, all right, I think we have to start over with the bus lines because I really screwed up. Yeah, I really screwed up. Okay, all right. How do we trash a bus line? Yes. Yes. Yes, we're paused now, so we'll be able to resolve this before things get completely ridiculous. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. This is really a sloppy mess here. And I guess since we've already ruined the bus lines, we might as well just fix it up. Where's the snap? There's the snap. And I'm just gonna make this section straight because it will be much, much easier. It's not quite straight, is it? It'll be much easier to get the bus lines to connect properly if this is all straight. Okay, now I'm thinking maybe I'll just use the frickin' bus station. Space already occupied? So it's still not straight, is that what you're saying? Alright, enough. I have had enough! I am going to demolish all of the things. Yes, and you, and you, and you. And we'll leave that in. Okay, alright. Now, here's what we'll do. We'll have a separate bus road on here. We'll use 4-lane road with bus lines. That looks pretty good to me. Slope too steep? Really? Why are you doing this to me, game? Why do you hate me so? Okay, if that's not an option, then what are our options? Our option. Our option. Should it be buses only? No, because it's like only one of 2 connectors here. So we'll do standard 2-lane road. Or 4-lane asymmetrical road doesn't make any sense here. I really want to do the bus lanes, but for some reason I'm not allowed to. What about here? Alright, what am I going to destroy if I do that? The post office. We might have to move the post office. Okay, I didn't actually move the post office. That did not go according to plan. Okay, put the post office there. We'll try again with the road with the bus lane. Hold on, I don't really care much about this tiny little section of industrial area. I'm gonna try something a little more linear. What's the issue here? Alright, let me see what the shortcut key is for the traffic chaos thing. That is network blah 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 blah. Loading screen, traffic light, surface painter. Find road anarchy. Control A, that's the one. I keep forgetting that one. Okay, so that should enable the road anarchy. And that should allow me to basically pop this down wherever I damn well please. And wherever I damn well please is right about there. Now, a little bit of extra zoning needs doing here. I'm not sure what happened here. It seems to have decided that there's some kind of intersection going on. Oh, that's a bridge section. I don't want that. I just want a regular road. We have it set to regular road, but it keeps wanting to do a bridge section. Force the ground to follow the elevation of the road. That's what I went looking for. Okay, all right, straight line. Beautiful, very straightforward. Look at this chaos that I've created. I have made what is known among SimCity professionals as a mess. Okay, no further zoning worries over there. We're going to go ahead and fill this in. We'll have some zoning there. Okay, so now our options are either the bus station, and I'm going to take another look at that. It's far bigger than we need. So I don't want to do that. And then our next option is the one-way roads. We'll do the one-way roads. 45-degree angle to, let's say, here. And then to right about here. And then a 45-degree angle here. That's 135. And that's our first stop. Oh man, still not working the way I wanted to. Is it the height differences that we're worried about here? Maybe. That's 56, 45. Can I fix the height? Let's find out. Yes, we can simply fix the height here. Well, it was fixed and now it's unfixed itself. It was fixed for just a second there. Okay, what about leveling the road here? This seems like it should be easy to sort, but it's not. Oh man, I am making a nice mess of this, aren't I? Okay. What should we do, guys? What should we do? This is where I miss streaming, because people could just tell me what to do in real time, and now I actually have to think, and I hate thinking. Thinking hurts my brain. No, I'm kidding. I'm pro thinking. Stay in school, kids. Okay. What was the shortcut for the traffic thing again? Control A. Huh. Okay, I can't tell if it's on or off right now, but if I go to the roads, we have this thing. Okay, and that turns road anarchy on and off. Road bending, node snapping, road collision. Cool. Okay, we'll do something a little more simple. Just something straightforward, so to speak. Road anarchy is on and snapping. Turn that off. Normal mode. Node snapping off. There we go. Okay, now we need to turn this one road section around. I'm not sure what happened here, but that's not good. I think they're probably just a little too close together. Let's move them out enough that it's not going to cause weirdness. And we'll move this one in a little bit. Those nodes are just way too close together as far as I can tell. Alright, so the only issue now is that this section of road here looks really weird. So maybe that just needs to be a different type of road. Maybe we'll go with a more straightforward 2-lane here, this guy. Just to... Oh, that's better. Yeah, no, that really de-weirdified everything. I'm just making it worse, aren't I? Okay, alright, new plan. Demolish all the things. The nice thing about watching me do this is you get to see me fail in a dozen exciting ways. And who wouldn't like that? Okay, let's get the anarchy turned off here. And there. Alright, you know what? Done. We're putting down a bus station. There. It looks nice. I mean, there's nothing not to like here. And now we have to redo all of the bus lines, don't we? So, I'm a little unclear on how this works with the connections, but let's see, how did we do this the first time? We had one that more or less just went around in a circle here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move that one down. Shall we have it go over Main Street? Let's try to avoid Main Street because traffic's pretty heavy there. So we'll go like this, and we've got this high density area. That. We'll stop at Silicon Circle. And here. And then we finish the line. Have to approach from the other side. No left turns, huh? How do I feel about that? I didn't actually manage to create the line there. I turned it off before it was done. I'd kind of like them to just come in here and turn left, but I don't see that that's an option. Okay. Let's finish this line. Where here it ends here, and then we oh, stop complaining. Delete this. I mean, it's kind of weird. I don't like having it loop around on itself like that. So here's what we'll do. We'll change the direction of the line. Let's just delete all of the frickin' stops and start over. Because, let's be honest, I kind of messed this up. Great, that's a useful bus line right there. There's one stop. And it's up here. No. Let's try this again. Okay, so from here to our high density residential area, to Silicon Circle, to residential zone here, down to our downtown area. Something like this, I think. And then we'll go and have a stop down by Bywater and stop twice on Main Street. And then we'll finish the line. There we go. All right, next line. This line goes to our industrial area. See, they can't turn left. They're kind of stuck, so we're going to have traffic kind of looping around here, which is a little irritating, but not the end of the world. And then University, shopping mall, and finish the line. That's a very simple little bus line, so hopefully it won't cause too much weight. I can do 100 bus lines here. I have no desire to have that many though. And then the next line should cover the southern residential areas as well as we can. I know, I'm doing all of this all over again. The stuff that I just did. But that is the price of stupidity, folks. Okay, and then can we... Oh, there's no left turns allowed there. Shoot. All right, well then we'll put the stop on the corner here and they can walk. That's fine. We can't turn left here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And the only thing that I might want here is maybe add a stop somewhere farther down here. There we go. Okay, all right, we got our bus lines going. We've got, do we have an electrical issue here? No, we just have a power pole that we haven't deleted yet. And hopefully that will do the trick. So we built all of our bus lines twice. We screwed it up once. And these guys are in urgent need of power. Now we have plenty of availability, so we just need to give them a little power line and everything will be fine. Everything's gonna be fine, guys. You're gonna get all the juice you need. There. Meanwhile, this is starting to fill out. You can stop complaining about not having electricity now. You have power. Granolaville is already looking really, really sustainable. Look how sustainable Granolaville is. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow we'll tune our public transit a little bit further, and we will keep expanding more commercial space, a bit of office space, and, well, we'll see how it all goes. Thanks for tuning in. Do appreciate it. We'll see you all next time.